Welcome everybody to another episode of Vendor Spotlight. And today my special guest is Shannon Bliss of Health is Bliss. And I am really excited to talk to her because her topic today is all about what we can do now to support our health as we look forward to the fall season and a possibility of another second wave of the coronavirus coming out. So if you're watching here, let us know, say hello. And if you're watching the replay, type in replay. So Shannon Bliss, she's been a vendor with the holistic market for quite a number of years, actually. And she usually does the live blood analysis and nutritional consultations at the live events when we have them. Definitely, we're all looking forward to getting back to that. But until then, we're all making adjustments and we're coming online. So it's definitely an adjustment, not just for us, but for a lot of people, having to do appointments over a Zoom or over phone consultations. And it's something that we'll be talking a little bit further about as well. So Shannon is the founder of Health is Bliss. She is a registered holistic nutritionist. She's a microscopist, bio-therapeutic drainage practitioner, and she is also an author. She's an author in the best-selling book, Ignite Your Health and Wellness, and she does live in Kelowna, and she enjoys paddling at the Kelowna Paddle Centre. Shannon was also one of the expert panelists featured at the recent online summit, the Holistic and Psychic Online Summit. So Shannon will be sharing with us some tips that we can do to build up our immunity and our health so that we are prepared for the fall season and for, potential second wave. Oh, and I've got my mom here today. Hello. Hi, Mom. Hi, Gail. She's on board today. Okay, so I'll bring in Shannon right now. Hi, Shannon. Welcome.
Hi, Carly.
And like I was saying just now that, we've had to make quite an adjustment to our businesses and the way that we do business with the COVID. And if you're watching the replay, years from now, we are in the midst right now of the COVID pandemic. And it has made a lot of changes on how we do business. We're not meeting in person as much anymore. So what are some of the things that you've found in reaching your clients that you've adjusted to kind of provide the service you still have and still do that in an online environment? So how do you meet with your people then?
Well, I'm back in office right now, so I'm pretty fortunate. That started back May 19th. So lots of people were catching lots of people up who didn't either do the FaceTime or the Zoom meeting. But I'm encouraging everyone to get comfortable with that because we don't know what the fall is going to bring. So that's part of our talk today because we don't know, we can't predict if we're going to have another wave. But however we look at it, it's so important to establish a really healthy immune system. It's not about boosting it, it's about establishing a good baseline.
Right. I do agree with that too, because if we're at our healthiest that we can be, then we'll just be at the strongest to have us navigate through flu season, corona season, all of that, and be in a better position for that. So you've moved offices then, or you're back in office, and is that in Kelowna still?
I have had a home office for many years now. I had an external office a number of years ago and brought it home, and all my clients were thrilled I brought it home.
Oh, good.
So you're in my office right now.
Good.
This is the first video from my office, which is kind of special. So if any of my clients are watching, they'll be familiar with the layout and what it looks like in here. Right. So a question though, I'm really curious what being healthy means to you, means to anybody who's listening or watching right now.
Okay, so question being, what does, can you say that again, is what does being healthy mean to us?
What does healthy mean to you? What does being healthy mean to you?
What does healthy mean to me? That's a good question. I'm going to ponder that a sec. So I'm going to encourage everyone else watching, whether it's live right now or on the replay, type in the comments and let us know, what does health mean to you? What does that mean to you? For me, I would say my systems are functioning at their optimal level. I'm rested. I have a good mood. All my physical bodily needs are met, such as for vitamins, etc. And but also the mind as well. I think we need to look at the body and mind together, so that we have a good positive outlook too. So
and that's exactly
check.
It's part of everything. So being healthy it's not just about it's a big part about how we feel, but what are we doing to encourage that? Are we getting enough rest? Are we eating a whole food diet? Are we eliminating sugar? Are we reducing our caffeine intake? Right? It's all of this. Are we drinking purified water? Right. Still, so many people come into me and I'm shocked that they're drinking tap water, which is loaded in chemical. And up where I live, we're on a boil water advisory. It's probably been at least 2 years, maybe going on 3, which I think is unbelievable in this day and age. Yeah. So it's about encompassing all of those things. It's about making sure that you get enough exercise. I was out paddling last night. I had so much fun. We were out in the waves. I came home just so exhilarated, so full of energy. And it wasn't that far. I should have been going to bed probably an hour later. That didn't happen.
You didn't get rained out? It was on and off. I guess you're already around the water.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a water sport. If you get wet, oh well.
So you mentioned whole food diet. What exactly is that? Maybe if you can share with us what that means to you. Like, what does that mean when you say a whole food diet?
So you've probably heard people telling you to, when you go grocery shopping, shop on the outside of the grocery store. Don't, all the packaged foods, all the prepared foods are on the inside. So it's avoiding those packaged foods. It's eating things like all your vegetables, some fruit, nothing that's prepared, added sugar to it. It's staying away from things like chips and candy and junk food. And
I'm so guilty of that.
However, so what I often do is I get people on these whole food diet program, and it's not a diet. I don't know what's a better word for it. It's about fueling your body with real food, and all that junk is just that. It's junk. It's not giving us any nutrient value at all. Yeah. So I've actually come up with Whole Food Challenge. It's a 30-day Whole Food Challenge. And we're working on getting it up online, and it's going to be available to everybody shortly. If you want an early rendition of it, I mean, it's all done. It just has to come out on social media and such.
I'd love to hear about that.
For that, yeah, definitely.
So a 30-day whole food challenge.
Whole food challenge.
And so would that would be something that they register with you through Facebook or through your website or
through any of those? Yes.
Okay.
Through any of those platforms. Yes.
Okay.
It will be available on my Facebook and my website.
All right.
Shortly. We're just waiting for that to all happen. But if you want to just get started, if you're really eager, then obviously just send me a message and I can do that for you. But it's not always, there's lots of people who are out there who are vegetarian. I do encourage a couple vegetarian days just because that gives your digestive system a rest.
Yeah.
We have to remember that when we put a ton of meat in or animal protein of any sort, it's a lot of work for our body to digest that, especially if you're a fast eater. So it's about slowing down. Have you heard of rest and digest?
Yes, Yeah, it's catchy.
It's catchy, but it's so important, right? We're not meant to gobble our food down and then just keep going. Right?
Yeah, we need to digest. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want stomach upset. We don't want gas. We don't want indigestion. We don't want any of that. Who does?
Yeah. So a 30-day whole food challenge, you'll be heading that up. I've popped up here on the screen for people to find out some more about that. They can do so. Well, you're just launching it right now, right? It may not be on the website quite yet.
It's not on the website just yet, but they can email me and text me.
Okay, so Shannon can be reached if you'd like to participate in that through healthisbliss.ca, which is her website, or on Facebook. Her handle is @healthisbliss. And don't go yet though, because we're still here in Facebook land. Actually, also on YouTube too. So hello to those joining from YouTube or from joining in the Tribe of the Holistic Market page. Thank you for watching, and let us know in the comments. Shannon had put forth a question to us earlier, was what does being healthy mean to you? Did I get that right, Shannon?
Yes.
Okay, so what does being healthy mean to you? Share with us what that means. And we're talking today about things that Shannon's going to be sharing some tips with us about what we can do to keep ourselves at our optimal health and preparing for a second wave of coronavirus or even the flu season, if it is just that. But we're being told that by authorities that there's quite a potential for a second wave. So this on the horizon, what are we doing right now to help ourselves? What are we doing now to really fuel ourselves and get ourselves into the optimal health that we can be? So yeah, I like that you do the paddle boarding. So being outside and being healthy, I like myself, pickleball is my thing. Thank goodness, because wow, what a difference after being cooped up inside and being able to get out. I'm so grateful that we're heading into summer and warmer weather, and that we have the ability to get outside and still maintain social distancing. So it's just been mentally, it's just been a great relief. And I think a lot of people don't have that opportunity though, to have the sport, to have the ability to play sports like that. So we've talked about your whole food challenge and so that's a 30-day one. So will people be logging in and tracking what they're doing, writing down a food diary, or how does that look?
Yeah, definitely a food diary, because you want to track what you're putting in, you want to track what you're eliminating. We're going to have a few videos just to check in with people and give them some thoughts, give them some direction. Mm-hmm. What I find a lot of people do whenever they start something new, they find their routine and they find what works for them, but they often don't go exploring any further than that, and they end up having the same food intake day in, day out. And that's not a good thing to do either. Right, your body is going to get bored of it. If you don't get bored of it, your body's going to go, ugh, really? And then you can create a sensitivity. I've had some people who overdo it on some of these crazy cleanses that they find online or in a book. And I've had people come in with hives head to toe because they've overdone one food.
So did they end up? Does that mean they end up over detoxing? Is that a thing?
I wouldn't say it's over detoxing. They maybe already had a sensitivity to one of the things they've been putting in, or they've maybe put a commercial product in, and maybe there's too much chemical attached to that, and their body is already overloaded with too much chemical, and that has just created this huge inflammatory process, and then hives. And sometimes they don't go away that quickly. Even with Benadryl, I've had some pretty extreme cases over the years. So I don't get anybody on anything crazy. I just want people to understand how to eat in a balanced fashion. So when I say whole foods, it's just about eating real food. Cut out all the junk. If you make a list of all the things that you think are food that you put in a day, and think, okay, so did it come from Mother Nature?
Huh. Wow. I've never really thought about asking that of my food. Like, did you come from Mother Nature, or did you come from a lab?
Did it come from a lab, right? That goes back to margarine. Ugh. How many years have you told that that was good for you?
The liquid plastic.
No. And that goes back to being vegetarian and vegan, and there's lots of really good products out in the market, but there's also lots of really bad products out in the market for those types of diets. And you've really got to be careful and read your labels. It's really, really important. So,
yeah. Well, you know, my older daughter, Laura, she's she's anaphylactic to dairy and to eggs. So for like the last 19 years, I've been reading food labels like crazy. And I tell you, they've come a long way, because now they have those topping allergens highlighted in actual real words and not like lab words. I find that's helpful to take a look at for reading in that way. But I really do like, let's go here. I've got my mom putting a post. She has a question. Is it better to eat raw foods or lightly steamed foods? Like, for example, broccoli and cauliflower.
So broccoli and cauliflower, yes, typically steamed. You can have a little bit raw. Everybody's a little bit different in this regard. Some people do really well on raw foods, and some people, it just creates so much stomach distress if things aren't lightly steamed. So it's case by case, right? I do a lot of raw, I do a lot of steamed. I don't have trouble with either, but if anybody's having any digestive issues, I tell them to lightly steam things.
To lightly steam, So there's still some crunch to it, but I love steaming broccoli because it gets so vibrant and green.
Oh,
it like just lights up.
And a little bit of lemon, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of garlic over top, tiny bit of sea salt. Away you go.
Yeah, I did that with my Brussels sprouts in a pan. Actually, I got that from my dad. He makes those, and I have never had Brussels sprouts any other way since. So that's good to know. I know for myself, I have some thyroid issues, and at one point I was avoiding all cruciferous vegetables, and then somebody told me, well, you can, case by case, you can still have them as long as they're lightly steamed because it changes something in them. And is that so that's it's probably you that told me that.
that's part of it. Yeah. And some people just overdo. Again, right? They love something, so they overdo it. Just because it's healthy doesn't mean that you want it every day. You want to have it, maybe you can have it 3 times a week, but change it up, change your rotation of foods. I get people to change even their greens up. Some people eat spinach every day of the week. And I go, don't do that, change it up.
Yeah, and I believe spinach is actually on the acidic scale of the pH level as well.
Well, it still falls in the alkaline.
Oh, does it?
It falls in there, right? Most of all your vegetables really fall in the alkaline scale, alkaline or neutral. The acidic things are your meats, your grains, your dairy, your beans, your coffee, alcohol, that sort of thing. And if you overdo your acid-forming foods, you're going to possibly create some uric acid, which can lead to things like gout. You change the environment, which can leach minerals from your bones, because your blood has to stay at a pH between 7.35, 7.45. So if it's dangerously starting to go out of those bounds, it goes and says, okay, I need some minerals. So we've got to balance that all the time. So having a proper food intake, and that's why the Whole Food Challenge. I get people to learn how to eat in the right balance.
I'm going to put your info up again for that Whole Food Challenge. For more info, you can contact Shannon at healthisbliss.ca or on Facebook. Her handle is Health is Bliss. So definitely taking a look at the foods, number one thing. So I know you also have some supplements as well that tie into people's programs.
See some of them behind me here.
Yeah, I'm looking behind you.
As much as I'm a holistic nutritionist, I believe in the basics. I believe in just basic nutrients. Unless there's a severe imbalance in the body, then maybe you'll have a higher quantity of supplements that you need. But I get people who come in with shopping bags full of supplements on their first visit, and I go, "Oh my goodness, how do you make time for food? Like, how does your body have room for food?" So I get them to scale it back, and I get everybody just on a really basic program when they come in. Obviously, while dealing with their signs or symptoms, right, working towards getting to the root cause and getting whatever debris, whatever junk that doesn't belong out of their system, so that their bodies can get stronger and healthier. You're not weighed down with toxins or heavy metals or chemical or uric acid or parasitic or bacterial.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I look at the blood. A conversation will tell me the same as what the blood does. So as we head back into the fall, and if this becomes the new normal, I can still help people, and I help people all over the world like this already, because if they're 10,000 miles away, I can't look at their blood.
Right.
Blood only lasts about 2 hours. So they can tell me what's going on, and I can put a protocol together for them, and they can get on the right path, and we can start cleaning them and making them stronger and healthier. But your immune system, the immune system is such an amazing thing. Our bodies are such an amazing thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's about making sure that our white blood cells are active, our interferon system is working properly, our microbiome. Are you familiar with that word, microbiome?
Microbiome?
Yeah.
Isn't that, I would think, would mean my probiotics and prebiotics?
Your gut health, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Probiotics.
Prebiotics feed the probiotics, and it's all one big happy gut family.
It's all one big happy gut family, and it's all about keeping your body. Part of your immune system is a good part of your immune system is in your gut. And for a long time, people didn't understand that how important that was. And we didn't have a ton of probiotics. We had things like naturally fermented pickles and sauerkraut, and then we got introduced to things like kimchi and
kombucha,
and jun. Jun is from green tea and honey. I encourage people who are doing kombucha to, especially if they're making their own, to switch to a non-caffeinated herbal tea.
Oh yeah.
Slowly make the transformation from the sugar to the honey.
Yes.
Right? Because even sugar can have chemicals attached to it.
Yeah, I did actually, not recently, but I went through a phase where I was making my own kombucha, and I came across that. Even though I was getting organic sugar, it's still been processed, right? Yeah. And then I was using the tea, it was the black tea. So I can see those are great suggestions for the home brewers who are out there watching. Those are good shifts that we can make.
Well, and all tea, especially black tea, is heavily sprayed. So you want organic, right? So you really have to be choosy with a lot of things. And not everything has to be organic, right? There's lots of things, lots of vegetables even that don't absorb chemicals. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of the Dirty Dozen list? It's a free app for your phone. Yeah.
Yes, I have. The Dirty Dozen and the Clean Green or something.
The Clean 15.
That's it. The Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15.
Yes.
Tell us what that's about.
Well, the Dirty Dozen, it's honestly, it's just a list of the worst offenders that are so heavily sprayed, or when they're sprayed, everything gets absorbed right to the core. So if you wash the outside, great, but the chemicals have gone right to the core. There's no way you can take the peel off and you're still going to get chemical. So the Clean 15 tell you which are the ones that you don't have to buy commercial, or don't have to buy organic rather, because organics, honestly, the prices are getting better, and they're more available in more places. Even Costco carries organics now.
Yes.
But knowing what needs to be organic, what doesn't need to be organic, can really help your pocketbook.
I've heard strawberries are a big absorber of anything that gets on their skin, because their skin's not really that tough, like a grape even, but that strawberries are one of the top ones that absorb. So if you're going to go organic, strawberries is probably one of the ones that should be up there if you tend to eat those.
I'll tell you the ones I always buy organic. Strawberries. Sure. Well, pretty much all my berries, if I'm buying berries.
Yeah.
Peppers, so bell peppers, potatoes, celery. Grapes are heavily sprayed. Apples. And luckily, we've got some amazing apple orchards still here in Kelowna. So you can get organic apples here when it's apple season.
Yeah.
But, it's greens. Greens are on there too. So I always try and make it as easy as possible for people when they go shopping. And that's why I tell people about this app. Because being healthy sometimes when you're trying to make changes can be a bit overwhelming. So I try and give people as much information so that they can go, okay, I can either have this app or I can take this sheet with me, and it's going to tell me what I need to buy organic and what I don't need to buy organic, and then I can just relax.
Yeah. And so when you work with people then, so you guide them along how to shop better so that they're getting like these kind of things like the whole foods, and I see a lot of that would be educating people too if they weren't fully aware yet about what's actually in them. So you offer that, and then basics with supplements. Which ones do you suggest that people really make sure that they have as a minimum?
Okay, so always we want anti-inflammatories, right? We always want that no matter what. It's a basic. So I always start with omega-3s. And if somebody has suggested omega-369, well, that is like a base. That is like a maintenance thing. It has no place in our lives the way we live right now. So omega-3. So that's usually from cold water fish. So you can get omega-3s in capsules or liquid. I always suggest you get high quality ones because they all typically come from the same areas. Mine typically come from the cold waters of Peru. It's about the extraction process. So I call myself a little bit of a supplement snob just because I want to know that what I'm suggesting to people, when I'm telling them to put something in, I want them to put in the highest quality. It doesn't have to be hugely expensive, but the highest quality so that we get the results that we want and we don't add more burden to our body.
Yes.
So there's a chemical extraction with the omega-3s, but there's also a natural triglyceride extraction. And so which one sounds better to you?
The first one.
Or natural triglyceride?
The natural one. The natural one. Yeah.
So there's typically a little mark on the bottle which will tell you. If it doesn't tell you, it's typically chemical, and it'll be less expensive.
What kind of a mark? Like
it'll say
one of the bars in the UPC.
It's usually a little circle. It'll say natural triglyceride extraction.
Oh, okay. I'm actually making notes here. I write that down. Natural triglyceride. Okay.
Then right now we're trying to make sure that our immune system is healthy. So you want basic nutrients. We want your ACEs. You want your A, your vitamin A, your vitamin C, your vitamin E, S is selenium, which is another antioxidant. And these are all antioxidants, your ACEs. Then you want your probiotic.
Yeah.
So vitamins, you've got vitamin C, so that'll help to boost your immune system, get your white blood cells activated. But zinc is also something that is highly important. So what I found professionally, probably about a month ago, is a lot of these base nutrients were getting bought up and they were on back order because people were buying copious amounts. So, which is great.
Sounds a little familiar.
Yeah. Kind of like the toilet paper.
Yep.
And then butter, and then I don't know what else you found. But what I'm getting a lot of people to do, because remember I said I don't like a ton of supplements.
Right.
So how many bottles did that sound? That was like A, C, E, S, and then zinc. That's five. That's five just with your antioxidants.
Yeah.
Right. So what's the matter with a good quality multi, which is going to have all that in there?
Right.
So a multivitamin, they make them, it's typically 1 or 2 a day with your food. Mm-hmm. So if that's 1 a day, so there's 1. Then your omega-3s, which if it's liquid, it's easy. It's not a pill. And then your probiotic for your gut health. If you have signs or symptoms, again, right now is a really good time to get a good base layer or a base plan to see where you're at. Right. So signs or symptoms, I mean, I can't see anybody one-on-one if they've got a flu. Right. But I can still help them over this mechanism.
So you see people by video conference and you're doing that as well too, which is great for people that are far away, but also great for being able to still get advice and input from you if people are ill or need to do the social distancing.
Yeah. And if they don't have video, because I see a lot of elderly as well, and some elderly are either they've jumped and they're all over being online and Facebook and everything, or they're like my mother and absolutely no way. Are you kidding? She will talk to me over the phone, so I do a lot of phone consultations as well.
Right.
Right. There's always a way. Always. But it's right. It's just about establishing where they're at. You know, do they have people come into me for all sorts of reasons, whether it's things like a skin rash or acne or hormonal issues, or I get everything from really easy to really nasty. And I never know why people are coming in to see me, but they all get put on some really basic nutrients, and then we look at what their specific problem is. Yeah. And maybe we tag on something additional. And that's why when I'm here, and I can actually look at the blood under the microscope, that's where this is invaluable. The scope is right next to me. That's why I keep looking.
Now I have had that done at the holistic market. I did, and to do the blood analysis was a prick on the finger. And then you put that on the slide and then look at it through the microscope, and it's live. So you're watching them all move around. And then it's from those shapes and things that are missing that you can pick out and pinpoint underlying health issues, eh?
Tiny little pinprick. And then we look to see what's going on in the blood. We look to see if there's nutritional deficiencies. We look to see how strong the red blood cells are, how active the white blood cells are. And then we look to see if there's any other unusual markers or anything that doesn't belong. It's always about cleaning up the junk and making it healthy. Yeah.
Okay, so just to kind of recap where we've gone so far, because what we've been talking about here today are things that we can do to set ourselves up for optimal health for the fall and be prepared for potential second wave of coronavirus. So some of the suggestions you had was to get outside and get some fresh air and activity, a good multivitamin or a good supplement with basics, and whole foods, and eliminating the junk.
I have a whole list that when we had our last chat about the immune system, I have 10 basics that I hand out to my clients.
Oh,
right. So it's just a sheet that tells you what to do. It talks about the rest of hydrating, whole foods, supplements, eliminate the sugar, exercise. But learn to slow down and relax and enjoy your family, or enjoy Mother Nature, or right, all that kind of stuff. Washing our hands.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, how did we become a society that didn't know to wash their hands? Like, you come in from the grocery store, the first thing I always did is wash my hands. I don't know what people have touched. I didn't know if they washed their hands. It's like,
as you're pushing the cart around, like,
the little toddlers with runny noses touching everything. Sorry.
I know. I cringe when I see little kids sitting in there and they're like gnawing on it, and I'm like, no.
Oh, I know. But their little immune systems are building, and they should be exposed to all those germs and all that bacteria. And people should eat a little bit of dirt. It's good for you. Finger gut, right? When I wash my fruits and vegetables, and there's amazing cleaning products and hydrogen peroxide, and Young Living makes a lovely veggie wash. But honestly,
I love that. Yeah.
I just use water. If you have a good digestive system and a healthy immune system, if there's anything that gets past your salivary glands and where you're chewing everything, your digestive system is there to neutralize everything that doesn't belong, right? So bacteria, parasitic, whatever it is. So our immune systems are meant to get tested. We can't live in a sterile world. It's not healthy.
I agree with that too. And what I'm really seeing happening right now is we're going to the extreme with all of these toxic cleaners, and they're doing more harm to our system than than a smaller risk of actually getting something. It's like, people, our skin is so absorbent. Like, it goes in, it's entering our bloodstreams. Like, watch what you're putting your hands in, and how we are cleaning it is our skin. Yeah, our biggest organ is our skin. And I would like to encourage everyone out there listening and watching to really take a look at the ingredients, not just on your food that you're ingesting, but to take a look at the ingredients that are on your common household cleaning products. Just look them up and refer to that Dirty Dozen and Clean 15.
So there's also a skin program on that site. I can't remember. Skin Deep, I think it's called.
Yeah.
But we have to remember that our personal care products, right, for women, men alike, hair dye. Why I always wanted to go gray. And this is my gray.
I'm going back to my natural color.
Hair dye is loaded in chemical.
Yes.
Then we talk about our skincare, right? Our face wash, our body wash, our deodorant. Oh my goodness.
The moisturizers we put on after.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And then people, I mean, there's some lovely, clean nail polish out there. Mm-hmm. But then there's all these other processes that people do to their nails nowadays. And you have to question everything. If you want to be healthy, you have to go, okay, what am I really exposing myself to? And what can I control? What can I take out that I don't need to be exposed to? Because there's so much pollution in the air. that we breathe, in the water that we're showering and bathing in,
Yeah.
right? But we can control all these other things. So take responsibility. I think that's the biggest thing I want people to think about. You need to be responsible. You need to be your own advocate for your own health, because nobody else is going to do that for you unless you've got a lovely family member. But then if that's a wife or a friend or a girlfriend or a husband, you don't want to be that person who's trying to always be the support on the other side. You want to learn and understand this.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Like, we just need to educate ourselves as best that we can in all aspects of our health. And we have, actually, I'd say, like, this day and age, we're fortunate that we can have reference to physicians and their point of view. We have reference to holistic nutritionists and their point of view. We can look at alternative therapies and ways of being, like in terms of even just with medicine, like traditional Chinese medicine or an Ayurvedic approach. And we have all this info out there, and it's almost daunting to help wade through it all. I would assume that, Shannon, people coming to you, you've helped them to cut through all that clutter and really, okay, this is what you need to be looking at. For you, it's this, and having that whole picture outlook. It's not just the food. It's not just the cleaning stuff. It's everything together. The quality of the air we breathe, all of that. Yeah, I am a big advocate for that. We are ultimately the ones responsible for our health. It's up to us. We can't say, oh, well, I didn't know. Well, really, we all have Google. There's a good starting point, right?
There's really no reason not to understand that we need to be healthier. This outbreak, this pandemic that we're in, should be a big wake up for a lot of people. We need to be responsible for what we expose ourselves to. We need to be responsible for what we put in. We need to understand that, yes, we can have a little treat here, but that's a treat. And for anybody I work with, I mean, the 30-day whole food challenge, that's a whole nother thing. That's 30 days, full on. However, if you're desperately struggling and you really need a treat, I always tell people, be amazing all week. Be as clean and pure as you possibly can all week. And then what treat do you want to have on the weekend? Have a treat. Don't have a whole treat day, because then you've undone the whole week before, especially if you're trying to lose weight. I mean, weight loss is pretty easy. It's about cutting back on consumption of things that maybe don't belong in your body, or maybe it's overconsumption, it's overeating. Everybody's got a little different trigger with weight, but when you go on a whole foods diet and you also have a balanced intake of portions, then most people, the weight just falls off. It's pretty simple. It's actually, I came up with this program a number of years ago for some paddling friends when I was in Ontario, and everybody wanted to, as much as they were really strong and healthy and in shape, they still wanted to perform the best they possibly could. So they wanted to lose a few extra pounds. So I put this program together. It's called the Inch Program. And that's on my website. That's something that people can jump in on as well. It's an online course. But the byproduct of them doing this was they all lost weight. Some people lost too much weight too quickly. And I said, are you sure you're eating enough? Because it was a lot of weight to lose really quickly. You should never be hungry when you do a proper food program. But sometimes if you've been overeating, you need to be a little bit hungry because you need to cut your portions back.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And then there's that brain-stomach connection that your brain doesn't realize you're full until 20 minutes after that last bite goes down. Yes. So even taking that pause before going back for that second plate, just to let your body catch up.
Well,
And
and
then
for some people, it's about how fast they eat,
yeah.
right? And if they're not chewing their food well enough,
Mm.
and they're just putting it all in, they probably could so easily overeat.
Mm.
So, yes.
That's the first point of our digestion is the saliva. That's there. That's our first breaking down of the food.
It is.
Surprised our tongues survive.
Yes.
Wonders of the human body.
I
So is there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up? I'd just like to go over some of the points again that you were suggesting for us.
So my points, make sure you're getting enough rest. Something we didn't touch on though with rest is we've all got these electronic devices, whether they be our phone or our iPad, or maybe it's a TV in the room. We shouldn't have any electronics in our room. We should not sleep with the phone next to us and use that as our clock. We need to be repairing. So all of these lovely devices that we have, including me, right? They're all a form of radiation.
Yeah.
Right? We've heard of EMFs, hopefully all of us here. If we sleep with these electronics next to us, we're never repairing. It's like having a little microwave sitting next to you that's on all night long. So we're mutating ourselves, we're not repairing properly. Right? I've personally seen some really nasty things occur because of these things being left by our nightstands.
So it's still the electrical current in there too. Like if we have, thinking myself personally, I have my phone there, but I put it, okay, not lately. Sometimes will turn the Wi-Fi off on it or put it on airplane mode, but that's still plugged in, right? So is that still?
It's still plugged in, and is there any guarantee that you're not getting the EMFs off that, even if it's on airplane mode?
I guess I'd have to have an EMF detector to really know.
You would, and would I trust that? I wouldn't be trusting a whole lot of anything right now, maybe for the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Right? 10 years ago, I was told that this thing that was attached always to my husband's head did not create the tumor. So, have you ever sat on the phone like this with this next to your head and felt this heat radiate off it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And then I remember I'm like, oh, speakerphone, and I put it in front of me. I try to get around it, or using these things.
Yes. Well, most anybody who talks to me on the phone will know that they are on speakerphone.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them that they're on speakerphone because I don't put that to my head, and nor do I sleep with it anywhere in my room. It's charging in the other room. It's charging in the kitchen. I don't want it anywhere near. I mean, you can be as an extreme or not extreme. I mean, you can turn your Wi-Fi off at night. For some people, that's a bit of a, that's that much. It's another step that they can take so that they don't have Wi-Fi exposure while they're sleeping, so they know they're repairing properly. Yeah. I keep an eye on my blood because I want to make sure I'm not seeing oxidation.
Oh, and that would be an indication of having that?
You'll see some oxidation, or you'll see some membrane damage. You'll see more inflammatory markers, that sort of thing, when there's a lot of radiation exposure like this. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I use the blood only as a tool. It's only a guide so that I see what's going on. By no means is it used to diagnose anything. It's used to see what's going on in your body, because it's been drilled in my head that I don't cure anything. It's not my job. I can't cure anything. I don't think anybody can cure anything. What our body does, you give it the right things, the right nutrients, clean out the debris, it's your body that's healing. We've got, these things are pretty amazing that we live in.
We're always trying to create homeostasis, stasis. We're always trying to have balance. We're always trying to, if something's broken, our bodies are always trying to fix it. So I can see if we are taxing our system with all of these things, like from our personal skincare to the foods to the toxic environments that we're in, that we're always on. Like now I get that. Now I'm getting that a bit more, like what you mean when it's time to rest. Like we need to rest and build and repair because we haven't had any downtime yet to do that. And we're being bombarded with that from all directions throughout the day. Huh.
I've seen lots of people who have been doing like a social media challenge where they have a day off. There might be a better word for that, where you just take a whole day break from anything media, anything social media, that sort of stuff, anything Wi-Fi, our phones, our electronics. Have a day off.
Even in this Facebook group, I have a tech-free Saturday.
There you go.
My goal is not for the whole day. My goal is to at least get a couple hours. But it's an improvement from what I usually do. And
that's my paddling time.
Yeah, exactly. It's my pickleball time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got looking at what we're eating, what we surround ourselves with, and multis for support. What else can we? What else are the tips for
your immune system?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go back to basic supplementation, right?
Yeah.
So it's your omega-3s, it's your multi. You can always add a little bit of extra vitamin C, extra zinc. It's your probiotic. If you're in an inflamed state already, maybe a glutathione supporting supplement. Typically, I get a precursor to glutathione, and if you're not familiar with that is, it's our body's master antioxidant. So we produce it naturally. But when we get to the age of 20, the production goes way down. So then we need to supplement with it. So whether or not it's just you've reached the age of 20, or you're maybe ill as a child, or you've had an injury, those are all reasons that you're not going to produce enough. I use it personally just because I'm in my 50s now, and I still expect my body to run like when I was in my 30s. I want to repair quicker. I don't want to have aches and pains. I'm fortunate that I really haven't had many injuries. So it's just about being healthy, being prepared, looking after yourself. I get people on that sort of thing for, if they've come into me, they've been diagnosed with MS or Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. Those are really inflammatory states where their energy is really low and they just need a boost. And those are the glutathione people. But anybody can take it.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show here, Shannon. I've just put your info up there again. If you'd like to reach out or join that 30-day whole food challenge. Thanks for being on. Just stay in the studio here so we can chat for a bit after, okay?
Thanks, Carly.
Okay. Thanks. Bye, Shannon.
Bye.
So join me again next week as I will be having another Vendor Spotlight next Tuesday at 11:11. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye.